Well, good morning. My name is Dan DeBone. I'm President and CEO of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce. And I want to welcome everyone, all of our members, to another monthly version of Chamber Chat where we focus on a nonprofit. A lot of people ask me, Dan, why do you focus on a nonprofit instead of our business community? Well, our nonprofits are our business communities. They're there to help initiate that economic footprint to help so many people within our county. So our nonprofit of the month, and I'm really excited about that, is the YWCA, which is the Young Women's Christian Association. And here I have today, I have the Executive Director, Carol Palsick, and I have Diane Kravaniak, who is the officer. So today, we're here to talk a little bit about what they do and how they help the community. So I'm going to start with Carol. Carol, can you talk a little bit about maybe the mission?
Sure. So our mission is to eliminate racism and incorporate social justice into the community, and we try to accomplish that through our outreach programs. Diane is part of our diversity racial justice committee that we have going, and they've done a phenomenal job this past year bringing racial justice programs to the YWCA. And from what I understand, there's some pretty cool ones coming up in the future, but they brought people in to see what else we do. And we offer our thrift shop to women who are out looking for jobs, or men too. It's just not women. We will dress them for their jobs. We have a program called New Choices, which the facilitator works with these individuals so that they can incorporate a resume or get the resume pulled together, find out how to job prospect, do everything they need to do to move them to that next level, whether they're just looking for a job for the first time or they're trying to improve their skills to move on to another job. And along with that, we offer computer classes. So if you need to take an Excel or a Word, or you just need to be a little bit more familiar with the programs, we offer those classes, and they're scholarships. So we ask nobody to pay for these classes.
That's incredible. A lot of services that the YWCA offers, most predominantly for women, but also you help a lot of men as well.
Yes.
So Diane, as the officer, and how long have you been with the YWCA? And I've been to a lot of your functions, and you're very active, and you've done a lot for the organization. Could you tell me a little about maybe how long you've been there and maybe some of the things you're working on?
Okay, so I was about a dozen years ago, I was president of the YWCA, and came off the board, went on with my life. And the way I came back onto the board is, if you know Norma Skillings, have you met Norma?
Yes, I have met.
Yeah. I always tell people, don't have a glass of wine with Norma Skillings, because next thing you know, you're going to be on the board.
Okay,
so I'm back on the board, and I got elevated back up to officer. And it's interesting because it's come into my blood now. It's just something that I enjoy doing. I love the new activities we're doing. I know you were there in October when we opened up the bookstore, and that was a wonderful idea. We're bringing a lot of people in from the community. I'm telling everybody, before you go to the beach or to the pool, your children, you're looking for them to be reading during the summer, stop by our bookstore and pick up a very inexpensive book. I think through the end of June, 25 cents a book.
End of August.
End of August.
25 cents a book. Right. Kids' books are $10 for $1.
Yeah. We have a wonderful location. I don't know if you know the history of why we're in that location.
I don't. Could you share?
Yeah, sure. In the 1950s, there was a woman named Rita Kayet, and she lived in Johnstown. And let's go back to history, because at that time, women stayed home, right? They stayed home, they raised their children. Well, her husband got relocated to Greensburg, and she was very active with the YW in Johnstown. So when she moved to Greensburg, she said, I'm going to start that program here. So she started a YW, and it did very, very well with membership and raising money. And in the 1970s, somebody came to her and to the board and said, for a nominal fee, we're going to give you this house on Main Street. And so they made that happen. And you've been there, so you know how beautiful it is.
Beautiful.
It's a neo-classical Jeffersonian design. There are 4 iconic columns so people can know where we're at. And that's still where we are. If you come into the place, it's architecturally beautiful, and the furnishings are almost authentic from the 1900s. And a few years ago, I think the 90s, we built a 4,000 square foot addition. So we rent this place out for bridal showers, weddings, birthdays, especially business meetings. It's a great location to bring small groups up to 50 even.
I would say the
Of
thrift
the-
shop
the thrift
is the pretty much our bedrock of the organization. They did more sales in this past year than ever before. They've had more volunteer hours, and we couldn't do it without the volunteers.
Right.
The volunteers are running.
Yeah.
The volunteers and the interns. We've had a couple of really great interns this summer that have helped us because, like every other organization, staffing is an issue.
Right. What else would you like to share in terms of what you do each and every day? Because every time I do talk to you, and Diane, I see you guys all the time. You're so excited about what you're doing. Any plans for the future, or any changes that you're in the process of trying to enhance some of the
Looking for
current
staff,
programs?
right?
Yeah.
Well, we do a Tech Girls program.
Yeah.
We're in 5 middle schools right now.
Okay.
That we reach out, and these kiddos do a robotics program. They learn how to build robots, and then
Okay.
at the end of the season or the end of the summer they compete. So they're coming to the Y middle of July to
Right.
do another program. So, and we're reaching these 13 and 14-year-old girls
Oh, that's wonderful.
and the girls seem to be lagging behind, so this really helps them. And the instructors that are in the schools are phenomenal.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what. How does one get involved? I mean, how does do you have a website? They could call you.
Yes.
I mean, how does one get involved?
So there's a plethora of ways to be involved. We're always looking for instructors for computer classes. We're looking for volunteers at the thrift store, volunteers at the bookstore.
We need members,
Members? Yes.
women, men who support our mission. We would love to have more members.
You've talked a lot about your programs, talked a lot about what you're doing and helping so many people. We can't thank you enough for being our nonprofit of the month, and you've helped so many people. We know you're going to continue to help a lot of people. The Chamber is a very good partner, and we are looking forward to work with you now and obviously work with you in the very, very near future on a lot of different objectives and everything. And so your website is?
YWCA Westmoreland.org.
Okay. So thank you to our viewers, thank you to our members, and joining us for another nonprofit of the month, the YWCA, and another version of Chamber Chat. Thank you.